As most of you probably know by now, I've been writing a column in the Lotus Guide called Reality Check. And it's things that we need to look at that most people don't like to look at. And I ran across something really interesting because it dawned on me. Why are there so many things to write about? Why is this? So I just want to run this past you, and I welcome your feedback. But you have to stick with me here on this. Well, as it turns out, at least from my point of view, there is a reason there are so many situations that need to be looked at, and they all have one common denominator that shows up consistently as a causative factor, and it's what we call denial. Now stop and think about this. The reason we even feel the need to check on reality in the first place is because it seems to be either out of touch with our accepted worldview, or it seems to be getting increasingly more chaotic and out of control, hence the difficulty in accepting or understanding reality, so we simply deny that anything is wrong in the first place. Now stay with me here and you'll see what I'm getting at. Before I go on, let me say that when I say the word wrong, that comes about from deductive reasoning or simply using reductionism as a tool of inquiry. Now indeed, it does appear that something is drastically wrong when I look at the world using the tools that have guided our paths for so many centuries. Well, at least it's guided some of our paths anyway. But not wanting to go for the easy way out, I posed the question, what if nothing is wrong? That's an interesting question. What if nothing is wrong? It's not as if we've never had it all wrong before. So what could it be that would make it seem like something is wrong when in fact nothing is wrong? Now remember, stick with me here. The first thing that hit me is the fact that we see the world as a resource for our exploitations, which is most definitely an anthropomorphic view, not to mention egocentric. And I could have easily accepted this as an answer and ended my inquiry satisfied with at best a partial answer, but not very satisfying. But I wanted to pose an even deeper answer to this. So to do this, I'm going to have to use an analogy. We have all had the experience of waking up in the morning, still half asleep, remembering and to some degree still having our dream. At that point, it all seems to make sense. It's so real. And using the logic of that reality, it makes total and unquestioning sense. The fears, the pain, all of it seems so real. But as we wake up, something happens. The dream starts breaking down. It becomes illogical, fragmented, and even difficult to remember eventually. So here's my question. Could it be possible that we're waking up in a collective dream from reality itself? In other words, could it be that we are waking up to a new emerging reality on a collective level, and as we awake, the old world reality seems to be breaking down, no longer making sense, and heaven knows that most of us have noticed a change in our memory, and even time itself seems to be speeding up. So now let's get back to the denial and ask, what would happen of a morning if we denied the fact that we were waking up and tried desperately to hang on to our dreams? We all know that there comes a point when going back to sleep becomes impossible, and the needs of the new reality and physical body have demands that must be met. We need to stretch, go to the bathroom, get up and move around in our new awakened state. So I say, let's wake up. Let's wake up from this dream with all of its hate and aggression and conflict in the world today. In other words, let's wake up to a new era of conscious spiritual exploration of the unknown, letting personal experience be our guide, not the outdated Iron Age attempts of describing our world through blind superstition and patriarchal agendas. We are racing towards a future of unprecedented discoveries and new dimensions, where the fears of the past will fade like an old dream that no longer makes sense. The world is waking up, and in the near future will be divided into two camps: those who are in denial and trying desperately to stay asleep in the dreams of a fading, dysfunctional reality, and those who are awakening to something quite astonishing. Call it the new sphere, as Pierre de Chardin would have called it, the global brain, as Peter Russell would call it, or Christ consciousness, as the Christians who understand its meaning would call it. Or if you were a Hopi Indian tradition, it would be the entering of the fifth world, the end of an age where time will be no more. Throughout time and cultures, we hear the same message, wake up, which is echoing to us not from the distant past, but from the immediate future, an event that has in some strange way already happened and is pulling us towards it, readjusting, rebuilding, and aligning us with its resonance, which is what I would call love. It's time to wake up. Thank you for listening.